I'm Ron Stacker Thompson. I'm chair of screenwriting at the University of North Carolina School of the Arts. And it is my pleasure today to welcome five people, yes, there you are, who are connected to films, short films that are entries into the Out at the Movies Film Festival, which occurs 1st and 2nd of October this weekend. So I want to introduce each person. We have Zach Fox. Wave your hand, Zach, all right, who is the writer and director of Sea, Salt, Wind. We have Zach Smith, who is the writer-director of Stallion. We have Anita Clark Anderson, who is the writer-director of The Surprise, and Dan Hunt, who is the writer-director of Perfectly Frank. And we have one of the actresses from Sea, Salt, and Wind. Would you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Ariana Teisinger.
There we go. So we have a we have a great little group here. Very, very different films. One, of course, Perfectly Frank being a documentary, the others being narrative. Very interesting films. Let me not take up time talking and come to each of you. Most people want to know what inspired you to make this film, to tell this particular story. Why don't we start with you, Dan?
Sure. I'll move it a little bit closer. So I've been making documentaries for decades. I had a feature that I finished that just came out and aired on PBS this past June about a family with two trans kids, and I kind of vowed that I wasn't going to make any more films for a long time because it's so hard to get funding. It's so hard. So I was just like, I'm not. I'm going to chill out for a little while.
What's the name of that film, Dan? Just so we know.
Sure, it's called Little Miss Westie. And it's a family. They have two kids, and both kids are both trans. One's a trans boy, one's a trans girl, and I filmed them over the course of about 4 years. So I vowed I was going to take some time off, and I was in Fort Lauderdale, and I walked into a club, and again, I wasn't planning on making a film, and I met this guy, Frank Velarde, and I had to make the film about him. And when you guys watch it, you'll see.
I have seen. He is so amazing.
Yeah, I'm very interested in issues surrounding aging. In my career, I started off making films about it. I was raised by my grandmother. So I started off making, films that preserved oral history and that valued aging populations and explored issues. And then most of my work was gay and lesbian. And now, as I'm rapidly aging, it seems like I'm suddenly coming back to those. But the Frank story, it was a gift. I didn't go out saying, I want to make a film about what it means to be dating at 75, 76, 77 years old.
Yes.
He just came to me like a gift. So yeah, that's the backstory on that.
And the fact that he had been married for over 40 years and had children and grandchildren, and is still very close to his ex-wife. It's a very interesting documentary. Very. How about you, Zach Fox?
So the inspiration for my film came about 5 years ago. I was in Honolulu, and I was just walking through the city, strolling, doing touristy things, and I saw in the city a woman riding a bicycle with a surfboard mounted to it, and you couldn't see anything else but a city and a bike and a surfboard with a girl. Like, if you really didn't think about it, you didn't know the ocean was right there. That just image stuck with me, and that inspired the film itself.
And you use that image so well in the film.
Thank you. That was the inspiration for the film. So it's like, we got to base, why would she be hypothetically in a landlocked city, and just base the whole story around that there.
Gotcha. And Ariana, how did you feel you're the main character actually in the film?
Yeah.
did Zach share all that with you, or how did you get
Yeah, he
involved?
told me that backstory, and man, was it hard riding a bike with a surfboard attached to it.
Was
It
completely waved off.
I definitely felt off balance, but it was really cool seeing it done on posters, and it looked really good image wise. But man, the mechanics.
It was hard. Yes, I can imagine. And Zach Smith, what was your inspiration? How did you come to do what you did?
Actually, it was so I'm actually I'm very good friends with the lead, Reese. And I did at UNCSA, I was on Welcome Squad, and I remember on the bus ride we were heading to our like Welcome Squad retreat where we all get to like know each other, and on the bus ride I had just kind of overheard a conversation that the actor's name is Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
And I overheard them talking about how they were on the football team back in high school. And knowing Cameron now, I just thought the sheer difference of having to be like who they are now and then being in that just hugely like masculine sport of football.
And then having to deal with his sexuality and yeah.
And it was, as soon as I heard that, just that the concept of it was really, really intriguing to me. And I sat down and we talked the whole bus ride, and it got us closer. And with Cameron's help and the other lead, Bo, Sean Stack, both of them helped me, I guess, tell the story the right way, where it wasn't me telling a version of the story that was in my head, it was representing someone else's story. And so that's just kind of how we all three just kind of webbed and flowed through it and kind of came up with the story as we like did rehearsals and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it really all started with just me overhearing a conversation.
Gotcha, interesting. But a group involvement in terms of making of the film. Yeah. And Anita, your film, which is this great little slice of comedy and madness.
Thank you.
How did you come to do it?
I just want to say I'm really honored to be up here with you guys because I'm totally new at this. So
that's all right.
It's my first film, and I just did everything. I did the writing, the filming, the editing, even
the
acting
starring. The starring. She's a star.
Not so well, but I was inspired by a film club out of Charlotte. They had a contest, and also this is my first film, so I've never, I've done YouTube stuff, but this is my first film, and they had a contest, and that was part of it, but also as part of how I got started into film is just family videos. I would do family videos, and that sort of morphed into, okay, now instead of sending greeting cards at the holidays, I'm going to do a video to send to my friends. It was more like this really funny video. And so I had this idea one year of coming out of a box, and somehow I just adapted that to this. One of the rules of this contest was it had to have a 10th anniversary in it of some kind.
Yeah.
So, and that was with Carolina Film Community out of Charlotte.
Gotcha. Well, it's a wonderful little zany. I don't often use the word zany, but you don't hear it often anymore, right? But it's zany. You all will have to see it.
I had a lot of fun doing it.
It showed. It absolutely showed. Now, all of these films, except for yours, Dan, were shot in Winston-Salem, right? In and around, or at least in North Carolina. Yeah. Dan, where was your shot?
Combination of Fort Lauderdale and Long Island.
Gotcha. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being worst and 10 being best, After the film was shot, how did you feel about having done it? Zach Smith.
Oh, honestly, I felt like when we wrapped,
Give me a number.
I'd say 9 or 10.
9 or 10. Okay.
Yeah.
I felt really good after we wrapped. It was a really, really good feeling because it was so long making it and seeing it on paper and then actually seeing it and then it being done and on a little hard drive was the coolest feeling. So
9 or 10. All right. How about you, Dan?
Like 8 or a 9. I mean, with docs, it's tough because you can't, in fiction you can control everything. Well, you can control almost everything, and docs are so much,
You got to go with what you get. Yeah,
absolutely. And fortunately, some really amazing things happen. But as always with these things, you shoot hours and hours and hours, and there's times that I wish I had a crew with me rather than just me with the camera on my shoulder.
Wow, you did an amazing job. Seriously, because it felt like you had a crew.
No, I wish. That really would have been nice. Yeah. But it's still a great story. I love Frank, so I feel really, really happy with the end product.
Great. And how did he feel about how does he feel about the end product?
He was delighted. He's a really big personality, but he's wonderfully humble. And he kept saying, like, I don't know why you're doing this. I don't know why, you're making such a big deal out of me and my story. And he felt the same way afterwards. Then he saw people watch it, and then he realized because he does have tremendous self-awareness. He knows that it's, being a nearly 80-year-old go-go boy is,
Yeah, I know. Kind of, that's the part that got me. I'm like, he's a go-go boy. 75 is amazing, absolutely amazing. How about you, Zach Fox?
I would probably say 8 or 9 too. It was a emotional ride to get it done, and when we finally finished it, I was very pleased. A lot of happy accidents happen. Like there's a sequence in the movie where we catch the train, and she's riding the bike with the train. And the funny thing to that was we actually tried to figure out the train schedule, but so we could have that shot, but
right.
It's not public knowledge because it was a private railway. So we just gave up on it. Went out there, filmed the whole scene, and then we're packing up, and then the train starts coming through, and we're just screaming, "Go, go, go, go!"
Go, 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 go. Right.
Like Super 8, the J.J. Abrams film, where he's screaming, "Production value!" We were doing. It's just like it worked. It was a lot of happy accidents.
And well, I know these weren't accidents. The cinematography, some beautiful, beautiful images in the film. Ariana, I'm going to put you on the spot. Zach Fox as the director, 1 to 10.
0. I'm just kidding. I give him a straight 11 out of 10. He went above and beyond. He put me outside of my comfort zones on certain things. He forced me how to learn how to drive stick shift in 5 minutes.
Wow. That's an accomplishment.
Super fun. But no, he gave direction very well. It wasn't like, I've had some directors be like, but can you do better? And I'm like, what does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything. I know.
Story. He gave me so much to work with, and he was generous. And even whenever we had to work super late, he was more concerned about my well-being as a person than an actor, which is really nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Zach Fox, you can pay her.
Yeah.
That's why I said that. No, I'm just kidding.
We filmed in late March, early April, I believe, and it was 40 degrees at night when filming those beach scenes, and she had to make it look like it was summertime, so she did.
Yes. Oh, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I didn't sense that at all. Wow. Anita, how about you?
Oh, I'd have to say a 9, but I can't even put a number on how I felt when the audience watched my film and they laughed in the right places. It was so wonderful. Great? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The worst is when they laugh in the wrong places.
Yeah, that's not good.
Well, very good. All right. Wrapping up, is there anything any one of you would like to say to folks who will see or have seen your film?
Thank you for being an audience. I don't know.
All right, that's good enough. Anybody else?
I
Say it
have
again.
yet to.
I didn't hear that, Zach. Fox.
Second that. Thanks for being an audience.
All right. Well, thank you all so much. And I know the people who do see your film, if you've not seen it already, those who are watching this now, some really good work. I give you all a lot of praise and a special little hand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.